Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Bits and Bytes. U.S. edition, baby. 50 states in 50 days. Don't you forget it. This week, we're going to Arkansas. Arkansas. It's Arkansas. We did the math. Arkansas. We're here. What a great state you are. Your flag says your name. That's great. I mean, other states really don't have the balls to put their name right on the flag like that. Arkansas says, we're kind of like the rebel flag in a weird way, but we're just going to write our name right in the middle and make a little white box. It'd be great. Really let people know where we are. Thanks, Arkansas. You're pretty cool. Welcome, everybody, to Bits and Bytes. Yet again, week 4 it is, and it's Arkansas time. We got some Bits and Bytes from Arkansas. We'll get into that a little bit. We have some meats and cheeses from a legendary Arkansas producer of said things. We also have some, what I believe to be at least the most legit juice that I could find from Arkansas. Some bourbon made there that we will get into and talk about. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to run through a little bit of facts like we do. Let's get right into the facts. Let's look at the state. Where are we? Arkansas. Surrounded by the South. Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana way, Texas. Man, they are deep in the South down there. Let's hit those facts. Arkansas, nicknamed the Natural State. The Natural State. Stated in 1836, the 25th state of the Union. All right. Population as of 2016, almost 3 million. I would think more. I don't know why, but I would just think more. That seems small. Capital, Little Rock. Biggest city, Little Rock. Abbreviation, R. A-R-R. State bird, the mockingbird. Let's see it. Bringing that up. Look at it, eating a dumb worm. Birds always look dumb. The birds are just always going to look dumb on this show, I think. Birds are just inherently dumb-looking creatures, I think. I mean, they're kind of like dinosaurs, I guess, like someone told me earlier today. I guess we're glad that they're not large like dinosaurs. State flower and apple blossom. That's cute. The flower always outweighs the bird. I'd much rather have some apple blossoms than that fucking thing. Is there a better picture of one? I don't know. That's enough of that. What else do we got? Let's hit the book. Let's see what I got on my notes here, my production notes. Oh, yes, we have a great guest later today. Calling in at about a half hour or so. So let's see. What do I have for Arkansas that I know? Let's see. Walmart started there back in '62. Everyone loves Walmart. We'll have to ask about that. I mean, there's not much to say. Walmart dominates the industry. I mean, the only people that don't like... Well, a lot of people don't like Walmart, I guess. Well, whatever. Late 90s, Arkansas was big. I mean, that was probably the first time I ever heard about them. Bill Clinton came in hard. Billy Bob Thornton is from there. He came in hard. Gone now. So the 90s is like a big period for Arkansas. After that, they kind of sizzle away. The Razorbacks from the Final Four. I don't really watch basketball, but I did find that out. That's how much research I'm doing before the show. I know these things for you. Yes, pronunciation's a big thing. I found a website, something interesting about that. So if you're from Arkansas, it's spelled, they have a lot of balls in Arkansas. It's spelled Arkansas. It's literally, Kansas is another state, for Christ's sakes. How far away is Kansas from... Kansas is next door, for Christ's sakes. They almost border. The Cherokee Nation, look at this. The Cherokee Nation is right in the center. Arkansas meets Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Kansas and Arkansas don't touch, yet Arkansas had the balls, I'm assuming they came second, to just be like, man, we're like Kansas, just R it. Just add an R. Idiots. Sorry, Arkansas. I don't mean to come so aggressive at you, but your name is strange. Kansas is an interesting name for a state. Arkansas is not. And then when, by French law, you decree that you have to call it Arkansas, that's bizarre. I guess we can get right into it. So I was looking into it, and I found a law. It's an actual law. 2010 Arkansas Code, Title I, General Provisions, Chapter 4, State Symbols, Motto, etc. This is a real law. Arkansas people spent time putting this together. It's an article about the pronunciation of the state name. And I'll read it verbatim because I am a lawyer. Whereas confusion of practice has arisen in the pronunciation of the name of our state, and it is deemed important that the true pronunciation should be determined for use in oral official proceedings. As if anyone actually said Arkansas. People must have. That's why they did this. This is ridiculous. And whereas the matter has... This is so legalese, it's gross. And whereas the matter has been thoroughly investigated by the State Historical Society and the Eclectic Society, my eyes are bad, of Little Rock, which have agreed upon the correct pronunciations derived from history of the early usage of the American immigrants. Be it therefore resolved by both houses in the General Assembly that the only true pronunciation of the name of the state, in the opinion of this body, is that received by the French from the native Indians and committed in writing in the French word representing the sound. It should be pronounced in three syllables, with the final S silent, the A in each syllable with the Italian sound. What? With the that sounds like a... It sounds like we're talking about a song in that Italian sound. And the accent on the first and last syllables. The pronunciation with the accent on the second syllable with the sound of an A in man. And the sounding of the terminal S is an innovation to be discouraged. That is the worst fucking... I haven't read that fully until right now. I mean, I scanned it, let's be fair, but I just read that, and that is terrible. But they actually put a law together on how to say Arkansas properly. Just get over yourselves. Arkansas. You got a lot of ground to pick up now, having legal proceedings in your own state to discuss how to pronounce it. If you're in Arkansas and some dude actually said, where are we? And you're in a legal proceeding and you're reading the paper and you go, yes, the state versus Arkansas. Everyone would just be, get this fucking guy out of here. Everyone down there would do that. Every lawyer. I've seen these Southern law films. We know how they are. They drink a few at lunch. We know they would laugh this man out of court. So this is all nonsense. But thanks, Justia, U.S. Law, for clarifying how to say Arkansas. All right, let's get to the bit. The bits and the bites, that is. I didn't even mean to say that. I was just going to say, let's get to the actual bit. Oh, the other thing I thought was interesting before we get to this food, and we pick a little bit at it. Arkansas is the only state, in fact, the only area of the world I've ever heard of, that has a diamond mine that's open to the public. You can literally just go to a diamond mine. I should pull this up. It's an Arkansas diamond mine, okay? Now, you may be saying, Billy, why would they have a diamond mine that you could just go into? Is it like an old diamond mine where they took all the diamonds out? No. This is a fucking diamond mine where you can go rent tools and just start mining for diamonds there. In fact, a 2.93 carat diamond was found by a 13-year-old girl back in a couple years ago. That's a 3 carat diamond by a 13-year-old girl in this stupid diamond mine. Arkansas, what are you doing? Why are you allowing this to be open to the public? Why are you renting tools and letting people mine your precious metals? People die over these things, and you're just fucking letting people go willy-nilly walking through there? Well, due to COVID, you can't do it right now, but, you know, this is what they're doing out there. Arkansas, you seem a little backwards so far. Just shooting from the hip here. From what I've read and what I'm looking, I don't know. I don't know what's going on down there. These southern states, I mean, we're coming out... Where are we? We're Arkansas. That's not what I wanted to do. Where's the 50 graphic? Give me the schedule. There it is. So Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. I guess this is only the second southern state, really. But Alaska is like nomad world. Arizona is its own kind of weirdness. But Arkansas, I guess we're right back in the South. It feels like we're just started again because, the South is its own. South is a vibe. The South is a vibe. All right, so let's just get into this food. Let's talk about what we got here to eat. Let's talk about what we got here to drink. Let's just get right to it. So, in my exploration of what I could find to eat, Arkansas has a company called Petit Jean. Petit Jean is also a region of Arkansas, I believe. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm not very good at that. But I think it's like a state park. I think it's like a whole area. Yeah, Petit Jean State Park. I don't know what this Petit Jean is about. What is Petit Jean? The internet will tell us. The sailors call her Petit Jean, which is French for Little John. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. We do these live. I do this. This is as much research I do, and then we eat and drink. I'm learning with you. It's interactive learning. The ocean was crossed in early spring. The vessel ascended the Mississippi River to the Arkansas River to the foot of the mountain. That night, Petit Jean became ill with sickness. That was strange to Chevet. And I don't. This is too much. The bottom line is the meat company. We're here for the food, bro. The meat company, Petit Jean. Give me your logo. Let's hype you up. Petit Jean Meats. This segment is brought to you by Petit Jean Meats. Not true. I had to buy this shit. So let's check it out. What we got here. So we have an assortment of items. Petit Jean meats and cheeses. Okay, 2 specific meats. Top right and underneath it, the top right is an Arkansas-style sausage. Okay, and then the one below it is what they're calling Arkansas Christmas sausage. I didn't even read the ingredients. I don't know the difference. They're dynamically a different color for sure. So we're going to eat both of those and see what the hell that's about. We have their deluxe cheddar cheese, which just kind of looks like, to put it bluntly, not great. It just looks like a Velveeta type product. It's got a lot of mush to it, to be fair. And we also have their summer sausage. So we actually have their whole... The whole line. We have everything from Christmas sausage to summer sausage. If only we had a spring and fall sausage from Petit Jean, man, I guess we'd be really rolling in it. So these are the stuff from Petit Jean that we got our hands on. There's another thing that's uniquely Arkansas, which I was going to get, but something you should know about Arkansas is Skippy peanut butter is made in Arkansas. Now, I don't know. I didn't look into it anymore because to me, Skippy peanut butter is not the best. I was going to get some and eat it. Guess what? It didn't happen. Deal with it. We've all had it. We know what it tastes like. It tastes like palm oil and death. I don't know how big it is out there. I don't know if it's the thing when we talk to Kevin later from Arkansas. Maybe he could tell us a little bit what Skippy's like. My guess, it's going to go out there on a limb. The town the Skippy peanut butter plant is in probably smells like peanut butter. It's just a guess. A thesis, if you will. So there's that. So the other thing that we have is the spice blend, which is very big Cavender spice blend. I'm trying to pull up the website here so you can see it. I don't know how to really just eat a spice blend on camera. Oh, look, they sell it at Walmart. That's like perfect. Yeah, Greek seasoning. So this is like this is made in Arkansas. I guess they have some kind of Greek contingency down there, or perhaps it's cheap to operate down there. But this stuff, I mean, I guess we could start here. Is this one open? Of course. Why would I bring the open one down? Fucking idiot. Sorry. Cavender's Greek seasoning, perfectly prepared blend of 12 ingredients, no other spices necessary. It says it right here. It's an ancient Greek formula. Going to also question that. Arkansas, you talk a lot of game. You spelt your state Arkansas, and you demand people say it in a different way. You're claiming that this is an ancient Greek formula when I'm going to go ahead and guess that potassium chloride is the first ingredient, was not part of the ancient Greek formula. More lies from Arkansas. What's up, chat? What up? It's a tantalizing taste treat, though. So you know what? We're gonna get into this. I mean, I'm just gonna sample it. My mouth is pretty empty. I haven't eaten much today. Drank some coffee, drank some water. I'm gonna try to open this right now. Should we start with the spice blend? I feel like that's gonna blow me out. Maybe we end with the spice. Can't just eat like a spoonful of this ancient Greek formula, you know? I could put this here, though. This is pretty Arkansasian. But what I think we could get into, you know what we should probably do? Let's bust out one of the sausages. So what I'm realizing while doing a show where you're eating food, no one really wants to see you eat food. I know you don't want to watch me just chomp on food, so I should try to make it as quick as possible. I haven't done that. Sorry. Let's deal with it. All right, we're doing it live. It's fine. Also, don't want to make a mess in the studio here. So, oh, that's right. They sent me the Petit Jean catalog also. Family-owned, Arkansas-made, doing things the old-fashioned way since 1928. You'll love the tradition. All right, so let's just bust this cheese open. Take a nub of cheese out. All right, we're going to bust out one of each of these sausages here. The Arkansas, this is Arkansas-style sausage. I don't know what that means. See back panel for serving suggestions. Sound good. Now, these are fully cooked. I don't know if you're supposed to eat these cold, but I am. I don't mind a smoked summer sausage that's cold. Oh, yeah, it smells like a sausage. So this is the Arkansas-style sausage. And then, of course, we can't go without the Christmas sausage. We definitely need to get into this Christmas sausage. Very bizarre looking. Fuck, it smells like Christmas sausage. I don't know what that means. They use reindeer in this? What the fuck? Why is this Christmas sausage? I can't wait to read the book they sent with this. Ozark Hickory Smoke. That's right, the Ozark Mountains are out there. All right, well, the cheese, spoiler alert, tastes like Velveeta. And we're just gonna go... This just looks like a Hillshire Farm sausage. I don't want to get hyped here. Yeah, that's a... All right. I got a little kick to it. I'm going to read the pamphlet here a little bit. See if we get a little more facts on this Arkansas-style sausage. What makes it Arkansas-style? This is what I want to know. They do turkeys. They do bacon. Arkansas-style smoked sausage. Our links get their unique flavor from a blend of 4 different kinds of pepper. Also available on jalapeno cheese. Wow, really giving me all the info there. Appreciate that. What I like about this is on the back it says serving suggestions. Chop link in a food processor and use as a topping for nachos, pizza, or as a substitute for taco meat. I'm going to read that again in case you missed it. Chop link in a food processor and use as a topping for nachos, pizza, or as a substitute for taco meat. Yeah. I want Arkansas-style sausage, hickory smoked, on a taco full of it. Man, that sounds great. Ugh. Arkansas, what are you doing? This is your #1 meat product that you're shipping out to me? I can't wait to talk to Kevin so he can clarify some of this stuff. Again, this is another thing that I'm guessing that they don't really eat a lot of this. Like maybe for the store you buy this. But I don't think it's just like holiday party kind of stuff. All right, let's get into the Christmas one. Maybe this tastes like elves and reindeer. It's definitely grayer. Wow, that just tastes like a bland version of the other one. Okay. Oh, wait. It's got like allspice. It's got like allspice and Christmas seasoning in it. Oh my god, that's weird. Oh, there's mace and cloves in it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Arkansas, don't do that. What are you doing? Why would you do that? They don't even suggest to put this one in tacos. How dare they? I mean, the quality of these sausages are not bad by any means, but the fucking Christmas spice with the clove and nutmeg and mace and the fucking frankincense and myrrh. What are you doing? Where's your description of this bad boy? Tell me more about the Christmas sausage. I think your book sucks. Fix your book. Give me the website. God damn it. Petit meat. Shop now. I mean, I'll eat another piece of Christmas death. It's kind of like eating a candle. They sell big ham shirts. Something tells me there's a lot of big hams down in Arkansas. Something tells me this shirt gets a lot of play in Arkansas. You guys wear the big ham shirts down there a lot, do you? You guys a bunch of big hams? Oh, fuck. How did I not get a shirt? How did they not send me a shirt when I got all this crap? Petit Jean, you owe me. Give me this. I need to know what's going on with this Christmas bullshit. The ingredients probably just say spices, but I gotta look. Modified oat product, corn syrup. Oh, yeah, this is all death in here. I mean, it's a sausage. Let's be honest. We're not expecting health food. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we gotta get that bourbon. Rinse this shit out of my mouth. Sorry. That was mean. The food is good. The meats are good. Cheese, not so much, but you know. Christmas. Like this chewing, this is not what anyone wants to hear. No one wants to hear me chew. Like, I gotta figure this out. I'm sorry, it's just part of the fucking show. I'm not gonna eat it before, though, and come down and tell you what it tasted like. That's stupid, too. Let's maybe do it live. We'll chop it up later or something. Here we go. Christmas sausage. Can I get a description? Here we go. Years ago, Petit Jean owners The Ruffs would make a special sausage around Christmas time just for their family. Perhaps it should have stayed that way. Oh, no, that doesn't say that. It was a special family recipe and a holiday tradition. Well, consider yourself a member of the family, because now you too can enjoy the incredible, unique flavor the Ruffs have enjoyed for decades. I bet you the Ruffs wear fucking big ham shirts a lot. I don't mean to make fun of them. They're nice and obviously a very successful business. With a blend of cloves, look at this. My palate's so great. You're all lucky to have me. With a blend of cloves, allspice, and other special ingredients, Petit Jean's Christmas sausage has a sweet aroma when it's cooked that is sure to make you hungry any time of the year. Yeah, cool. Well, it's not great. I'm sorry to tell you, big ham. This other one's not bad. Maybe we just need to eat a piece of cheese again. I mean, they got all kinds of products on their website. The question is, how uniquely Arkansas are these sausages? I think they probably are. At least made there. The generic smoked sausage here definitely has its own kind of vibe. I mean, it's like a Hillshire Farm kind of kibasi bit, but it's smoked. Definitely hickory smoked. It's porky. It's got a lot of pork back to it. It probably crisps up real nice. Looks like it's got a nice fat content in there. You know, am I going to order these and go, I can't wait to have an Arkansas sausage? I mean, it doesn't really stick out like that. Now, the Christmas one definitely is unique. I've never had a sausage like that with that kind of spices in it. It's just not for me. I don't think it's bad. I'm going to shit on it because it's funny too, but it's not bad. It's just not for me. I don't want mace and fucking clove and all that stuff in my sausage. Not for me. What I do want, though, is that Rocktown, Daddy. Now, this is Arkansas hickory smoked whiskey. All right, from Rocktown. Now, I guess they call some of these towns, or I guess they call some town in Arkansas Rocktown. I'm going to assume that there is not an actual Rocktown. Can we pull that up, production? Can we get the map up? Where's the map? If I Google Rocktown, what comes up? I'm gonna guess nothing in Arkansas. I'm assuming it's like a silly name. Oh, it's in Little Rock. Okay, that makes sense. Little Rock, Rocktown. Bill Clinton. Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah, all those things. So, right in the middle of Little Rock. Rocktown Distillery. All right, cool. Little Rock looks cool. Look at this little... Little Rock looks like a cool little vibe here. You got a little river market down by the river over here. Looks like a couple... This reminds me of Pittsburgh, just with the river there. I guess that's a terrible thing. You got a brewery here, distillery here, museum. Looks like Little Rock down there, a little hip area down there, Little Rock, the old downtown. Okay. Well, anyway... This is Rocktown Distillery, Arkansas hickory smoked whiskey, pot distilled from Arkansas wheat mash. So if I remember, I'll pull it up and actually read it. That is not to test my memory. Let's just open it and smell it first before we start reading. We all know that my reading and talking skills get much better with day drinking. So this is smoked with... And they use Arkansas hickory and Arkansas grains, which I think is very interesting. Ooh, the smell is bold. Smells also smooth. It's not as aggressive as it seems. Hickory smoked whiskey is distilled from Arkansas soft red winter wheat. Soft red winter wheat, in case you didn't know this, is generally what's used to make like pastry flour. There's red wheat, white wheat. Soft red winter wheat is a common type of wheat that's used in a lot of your breads. So this is Arkansas grown soft red winter wheat, aged in ex-bourbon casks. I don't know what ex-bourbon cask. I mean, wouldn't it just be a bourbon cask? With a nice light smoky taste from real hickory. We took American whiskey distilling techniques and melded it with Scotch whiskey aging techniques to make something pretty special. In your opinion? I think it's overdone, but fine. Real saucy today. Sorry, Arkansas. Arkansas hickory smoked whiskey. We cold smoke the wheat in our custom built hickory smoker here at the distillery prior to milling. So they're using Arkansas grains, smoking it with Arkansas hickory in their own fucking smokers they make. It's pretty goddamn badass. This infuses smoke into the grain, and the flavor of the hickory carries all the way through to the distillate. As with all our whiskeys, our hickory smoked whiskey is made from grain to glass here at the distillery in Old Little Rock. No MGP crap here. We're makers, not fakers, baby. I respect that. Even if this sucks, I respect that they're making it all there. I love that. That makes me very happy. I already am in love with this. Now, I've had their single barrel rye before, so that was fucking really good. I almost bought a bottle of that, but it's not cheap. Mash bill is 91% Arkansas wheat, 9% malted barley, non-chill filtered. And then here's some tasting notes. 90 of 100, 2014 Ultimate Spirits Challenge. Bright fragrances of peach nectar, smoked meat. Wow, you fucking love smoked meat down there, don't you? Not barbecue. Like, you love smoked meat. Like these fucking sausages, man. Arkansas, you're weird down there. Smoked meat's good, though. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, hickory and tea berry leaves. I don't know what a tea berry leaf smells like, but I'm gonna guess I'm just gonna go with it. I do get the peach, though. The peach nectar's fair. Like a nice, fresh, ripe peach you like rip open and the seeds in the middle, and you really get in there and smell those delicious peach juices. It really does have that strange, like, brightness. Like, it smells fuzzy. Is that accurate? I don't know. It does smell really good. It doesn't smell... I'm not getting a powerful... I would expect this to be super hickory and super smoky, but it's not the case. It smells smooth and delicious. Little brown sugary vibes. Fig spread. A little suede in there, perhaps. A little leathery. A little leather action, perhaps. Anyway, they got a lot of other products also there. I tried to get someone on from the show. They just didn't get back to me in time. They were interested. I would have loved to talk to them, but you know what? They didn't come. So now I don't have to tell you how good it is, because if it sucks, I'm just going to tell you it sucks because they're not here. So cheers. I'll try it and eat. It's really light in color. I don't know if you can... You see how light that is? Like, that's for a bourbon? That's really light. Looks like ginger ale. Looks like ginger ale. Doesn't taste like ginger ale. All right, I'm getting. It's definitely a wheated bourbon. Definitely got the wheat in there. That's really smooth. I'm gonna put an ice cube up in that. It's really smooth and delicious. The smoke is light. It's not a smoke. Again, it's scary. It says Arkansas Hickory Smoke Whiskey. I thought this was gonna be like a smoke bomb, which I usually don't like. It's not by any means. It's pretty smooth. It's wheat. If you like a wheat-forward bourbon, this is most definitely heavily wheated. What was the percentage? I know I just read it, but I don't remember. 91% Arkansas wheat. Yeah, so that soft red winter wheat that they smoke. I mean, you taste it. This is a wheated bourbon. But this is a particular wheated bourbon is like a particular flavor that some people dig, and I don't know if this is this is obviously super Arkansas because it's smoked and all their products and all that stuff smoked there, made there with all Arkansas stuff. So, you know, this is in the vein of what we want in the show, something that is uniquely to the state. And I think we found out in this. When Kevin joins the show, he could tell us how accurate that would be. Kevin Shallon on Instagram at The Mighty Rib, powerful food reviewer / blogger / Arkansas food and drink expert, will be joining us in about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. So this is good. Going to keep sipping on that. And then we have the Cavender's All-Purpose Greek Seasoning. All right. I guess we should try this. Let's dig in. Let's try not to cut myself. Yeah. It did nothing. I need something a little bit more aggressive, like this pencil. Everyone knows pencils are aggressive. There we go. Oh, we broke the whole thing. Cool. All right, well, see you next time. Wow, smells like a fucking... Ooh, smells like Mykonos in here. Is that a Greek island? I just made that up. Wow, really smells like the ancient formula. I'm just gonna put some on a cracker. This just seems real. I've never just knocked out a powdery substance onto a cracker before and ate it. That may not be true. Let's try it. Tastes like bad pizza seasoning. Wait a minute. This is the salt-free version. All I taste is salt. Was that the fucking cracker? I'm ready to do a pump of this. This is very salty. There's no way this is a salt-free version. You're full of shit. They definitely put the wrong thing in here. All right, I mean, this tastes like every time you got a you ever get the all right, look, we fixed it. You ever get the you know, like a Greek chicken wrap or something, and the chicken like a street, some street meat. You hit up a cart, and the chicken's like really white and, you know, bad chicken pretty much, but it's completely covered in some kind of chunky seasoning. This is most definitely the seasoning. Every state fair kebab you've ever had is probably covered in this shit. The flavor is definitely that. It's not an ancient Greek formula. I think it's just an ancient carny formula is what I think it is. I think those carny folk that run the grilled meat game use that shit a lot. That's what it tastes like to me. Let's get back to this Arkansas sausage. Goes great with a wheated smoked bourbon. Man, I feel like I'm down in Arkansas. Okay, well, what else we got here? Yes, the law is Arkansas. There's hot springs down there, apparently. Where's that at? We got hot springs down there out in Arkansas. Let's take a peek. I'm not gonna lie, the mild spice of the sausage with this wheated bourbon is really nice. Actually, it's a good combo. I think I outdid myself per usual. So we got a big hot spring section down here. Look at this. A lot of hot springs down in the, I just want to say Ozarks, but I don't know if this is the Ozarks. Where technically are the Ozarks? What is an Ozark? Ozark is a town? Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Look at all this shit we're learning. Look, there's a Lowe's travel stop there. Okay, so Ozark is a town, I'm assuming within the Ozark Mountain, Ozark National Forest. Okay, that makes sense. Very cool. I'm excited to hear about these areas of Arkansas. Paul McCartney said the Blackbird was inspired by desegregation of Little Rock in 1957. Fun fact. What else we got here? Oh, right, the Dover Lights. I was reading about these things they have called the Dover Lights. The Dover Lights, people say it's a hoax. Some people say it's real. Apparently, it's like lights that show up in the sky on certain nights and certain times. And, like, rumor has it that it's like, you know, ghosts of Spanish conquistadors coming back to find their hidden treasures or something like that. I did read about that. We'll have to ask our guest about that. I don't, you know, I'm not going to read an article about a ghost and ghost lights. Oh, that's right. Arkansas was part of the Louisiana Purchase. So I thought this was really interesting. So the Louisiana Purchase was when, you know, not to give you a history lesson here, but the Louisiana Purchase was America's first big bulk buy of states. I think we spent like $15 million. I think we got like 15 states out of it. It was like a mill of state. A bunch of shitty ones. The Louisiana Purchase. Look at all these goddamn states we got. So essentially, we wanted to buy 14 states, and then when we were buying it from the French, they said, you got to take Arkansas, too. They literally made us take Arkansas. They didn't want it. They're like, you got to take it. If we're gonna do this deal, you got to take all of Arkansas. And we'll give you little pieces of everything else, but you got to take Arkansas. And we're like, okay, that's fine. And I thought that was like the big first bulk buy. Arkansas was included in it. We didn't even want it. And now, fucking fast forward, Walmart's there. And it's all bulk bullshit. So look at that. Full circle on the Arkansas. No one wanted you as a state. We bought you. You were part of the package deal. And we bought all these states in bulk. And now look at you. 25th state. Good job, Arkies. They call them Arkies. I think they also love football down there in a big, big way. Not sure how true that is. It smells like sausage in the studio, no question about it. Definitely better than the smoked salmon episode. I'm not mad. Our guest should be joining us shortly. If not already, I should check the thing. Hopefully it goes smoothly. I'm just waiting for the episode where our guest doesn't show up and I stand here and, you know, question technology and start cursing off the state. You know, I mean, that's bound to happen. I'll keep this out here so the guest can see. Yeah, so, you know, the Louisiana Purchase, interesting that we got another free state in it. And Arkansas was the one. The Boggy Creek Monster. That's the other thing. They have a Boggy Creek Monster. So, this is a thing. The Boggy Creek Monster. The Fook Monster. The Legend of Boggy Creek. This is a big thing in Arkansas, apparently. Or maybe it's not. Maybe just to me. This is apparently you know, like the Loch Ness Monster? Well, Arkansas was jealous, and they wanted their own fucking monster, apparently. Oh, look, it's like Bigfoot. The Boggy Creek Monster of Fook, Arkansas. The legend of a local monster still haunts this small town. The legend of the Boggy Creek Monster has long captivated the people of Fook, Arkansas. A little town about 150 miles outside of Little Rock. It is said that Fook is the first place that this cryptid was spotted. According to legend, the Boggy Creek Monster stands between 7 and 8 feet tall on 2 feet and weighs close to 300 pounds. Its chest, legs, and arms are covered in thick, long hair. The first reported sightings go back to 1834 when people began to report a large, hairy, wild man was roaming around Arkansas. In the 1900s, sightings around Fook became more frequent. Residents spotting the monster were more than 40 times in 1997 alone. What are you doing, Arkansas? There's no monster. It has been suggested that the animal is nocturnal, but a hunter reported a sighting in broad daylight in the Sulphur River Wildlife Area near Fook in 2000. The Boggy Creek Monster has been the subject of at least 4 different films. Never heard of one of these films. They were all bombs. This is fake. What's in your water down there, Arkansas? What are you doing? Your Arkansas is how it's spelled. You're demanding we say Arkansas. You think you got a Boggy Creek Monster? That can't be real. You don't have a Bigfoot. Stop trying to take Bigfoot. Bigfoot exists already. The legend of Boggy Creek. Get the hell out of here. Where's Kevin to shed some light on the food? Can't listen to these fake stories of Boggy Creek monsters anymore. Look at this. Tell me there's of course there's a carving. The Beast of Boggy Creek, the true story of the Fook monster. What's that, him pissing between trees? This is insane. So this whole town is all about this fake monster. They just made a town about it, not the Monster Mart. I gotta go to the Monster Mart in Fook, Arizona. This is unbelievable. The Fook, Arizona. Wow, I didn't know. This is crazy. I didn't know. I mean, I knew it existed. Only a little bit. I didn't look into it that much. Wow, crazy. Y'all crazy down there in Arkansas. 25th state. Wow, 1836. Okay. Boggy Creek in it since 1836. Well, the Petit Jean meats are pretty good, and I'm gonna give them like, I'm not gonna rate them, but you know they're uniquely Arkansasian, I would say, at least for my taste. This apparently is also uniquely, it's made in Arkansas, and I don't know, I would just call this Arkansas seasoning, I guess. It just tastes like carny juice, carny sauce, carny salt. I'm gonna call it carny salt. This is literally the shit that's on everything you've ever had at a state fair or a carnival. That's what it tastes like. Especially if it's Mediterranean/Greek themed. So carny salt, good job on that. And the most impressive thing I had is this Rocktown Hickory Smoked Bourbon. Super weeded bourbon. I don't hate it. I usually don't like weeded bourbons, but this one's not bad. Petit. The meats. Oh, big ham shirt. Man, I wish we got a big ham shirt. Fucked up. Should have got a big ham shirt. Damn it. Should have got a big ham shirt and gave it away. That's what I should have. I should have gave it away in the chat. Fucked up. It's always next time. Yeah, so Rocktown makes some other stuff. They make a bourbon cream. When I go to a distillery website and I see that they make other vodkas and clear booze on top of bourbons, I'm always like skeptical. But it seems like they're doing some legit work down there. Bourbon cream and coffee liqueur. Bottled cocktails, moonshine. What kind of moonshine you guys pumping out down there? Oh, here we go. Kevin's joining the call. Let's make sure our tech is working here. Kevin.
Hey,
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull you up here. Bum, bum, bum. 1 second. Sorry. Where's the... Here it is. Oh. There we go. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Nice to meet you and talk to you finally. Let me turn off this music in the back. You probably hear this music is goofy. And turn your volume up a little bit because I can't hear you. There we go. What's up, bud? Welcome.
Oh, nothing.
Welcome. I'm doing all right, dude. I've just been dipping into some Arkansas tasties here.
I see that.
I got some of the Rocktown. I got some Petit Jean meats, and I got what I've been calling carny salt, this Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning here.
Well, I already have to correct you, and you made a very common error for someone who is new to the Arkansas scene.
See, now, that is what I love. What is it? Say it. How do you say it?
Petit Jean.
Petit Jean. I'm saying Petit Jean. Yes.
Yeah, that's because you're not from Arkansas.
No, of course I'm not. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Petit Jean. So it's Petit Jean. So the Petit, there's no E, so that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
No, when I moved here, I thought it was Petit Jean, but it's Petit Jean.
I probably said that also earlier in the show. Yeah, I probably said Petit Jean.
Yeah. Because
I was reading about it, and that's actually a state park up there, too, I guess, or a region or something like that, or a mountain range.
Yeah, it's a state park, and you can go and hike Petit Jean, and it's about an hour from where I live here in Little Rock. It's really gorgeous place to hike and camp and get a cabin. It's really nice.
So you live out in Little Rock. That's where you're at?
Yeah, Little Rock, and Little Rock is in central Arkansas. For those listening, and you're not too familiar with the geography of
yeah, I have the map up here, so let's see if I can do it just so people can follow along here. You can't see it, but it's on the way I'm doing it. They can see it here. So I was looking at it before. Little Rock looks like it has a cool. I've never been to Arkansas, so I've never even like looked. I probably would be in Little Rock, I guess, but I looked into the town a little bit as if I was going to like visit, and it looks like they got a cool little downtown there because I was looking where Rocktown Distillery is, and it's like, oh, that looks like a nice little downtown area there. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's really nice. You know, one thing I really have always loved about Little Rock is its size. It feels like a big town to me.
Okay.
I'm originally and spent some time in Boston, so I'm used to the big cities.
Right.
And here, I really enjoyed the size of Little Rock because you have everything you want, you need, but there's no traffic, and it's just a very nice downtown setting with lots of restaurants and bars. And Rocktown is right on the edge of downtown there, in a very trendy new, well, it's not a new neighborhood, but it's kind of trendy now. It's called the Soma District, South Main District. And they relocated there a couple years ago, and they have a new warehouse, and they do tastings. It's really a cool spot. Beautiful bar.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. The website looked really nice and put together, and I kind of just backed into this. They actually sold. It's hard to find something from every state, and a lot of states are making booze, but my local Whole Foods actually had this on the bottom of their shelf there. I saw it. I was like, get the hell out of here. So I just grabbed it. And this is pretty good. And I've had the single barrel rye from them also. A restaurant over here by me has it. And it's really delicious. And I guess it's all like, locally grown. I was super impressed that this is like, I think I just read it was 91% locally grown Arkansas wheat. And then they smoke it with Arkansas wood in their smokers. I was like, this is like, for the idea of the show, this is like the most legit, Arkansas juice that I could get my hands on it. And it's pretty good too. I usually don't like a wheated whiskey, but this is pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's, that's a place for a few years now, and they started before I got here, but from what I heard, it was kind of a rough start, as I imagine with most distilleries.
Yeah. But
settled in, and now there's several of their bottles they win awards. I mean, it's legitimately good bourbon, whiskey. I mean, they do gin, vodka, you name it. They make.
Yeah, usually I'm skeptical of distilleries that do every booze under the sun. Like when I went to their website, I was like, oh, they're doing vodka and gin and flavor this and cream that. Like usually places like that aren't really, to me, at least around me in New Jersey, giving the attention to detail that they should for each thing. They're just, pumping out one distillate pretty much and coloring it and flavoring it differently. But, I mean, this is killer, and the other one I had definitely is a much different product than this. So I'm sure their stuff is pretty good. So it looks like they're doing a good job down there.
They really are.
So what about the Petit Jean? No, Petit. No, shit. See, I said it wrong again.
Okay, Petit Jean.
Petit Jean. So I got some Petit Jean sausages here. So is this something that you would eat on the reg as an Arkansas native of sorts? Is this you go to the store and you pick up your Petit Jean? Or is that just like, yes, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big company, but it's still, local, and they're in all the grocery stores. It's definitely something I keep on hand regularly. It's really good quality stuff, but they're big, and as much as I love them, doing what I do, I really try to find the smaller mom and pop type farms and try to support them, not only through my writing and covering them, but also actually eating their meats and ordering them on a consistent basis.
Yeah. I do my best to do the same around here in New Jersey. They're few and far between to find like the good family farms and stuff like that. But when you find them, you definitely want to support them. And it's good to hear that they're doing that down in Arkansas. Because again, like I assume something like this, especially like, with the catalog, the whole thing, it's like, it reminds me of like a, what's the company that does like the Christmas boxes that everyone gets? The Hillshire Farms or whatever, whatever that company is, everyone gets the summer sausage, crap that sits forever in your cabinet. Like they kind of remind me of that, but uniquely Arkansas-ian, if that's the word. The catalog is full of stuff. It looks like they do a lot of meats and stuff. So I got their normal smoked sausage, which is pretty good. It's called like Arkansas sausage. It definitely has like a little bit more pepper and bite than sausages I've had up here. And then the other one I got was the Christmas sausage, which is very strange to me. It has like mace and nutmeg and like all these like very strange Christmas spices I was not expecting. But, that's to me a uniquely Arkansas thing. I'm sure that's not like a common Arkansas thing. It's just their kind of thing, I'm assuming.
Well, I applaud you for getting these things. I mean, that I really do. That's great. I mean, you're learning a little bit the taste of Arkansas, and I can tell you and you might not know this because I sure as heck didn't know it when I moved down here. But what we're really known for is cheese dip.
Okay, so I was told about the cheese dip, and I've looked into it. So a lot of these states have, because I do this show for every state, right? And it's impossible to know everything about every state, but I try to find these highlight things, and like these kind of hit it, and then I try it, and then I find great people like you to talk to about it, and then we actually learn about it. Like the guest is always what makes it an actual connection to the state. This is just kind of like fun to do, to eat and drink the stuff. But the cheese dip I heard about, someone told me about it, and the more I looked into it, and you could correct me where I'm wrong, it seemed like, I guess it was called queso dip or cheese dip. There was nothing uniquely like Arkansas about it. I was like, okay, what about it? I tried to read a little bit about it. There wasn't a specific type of cheese that was used, at least that I could find, or like something that made it different than just literally putting cheese and milk in a thing and blending it up. And I was like, well, this is like every other kind of queso dip vibe. But tell me the difference. Tell me about Arkansas cheese dip.
Well, you sound a lot like me 10 years ago. I didn't understand it. It made no sense to me.
I love me some cheese dip. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And how did Arkansans invent melted cheese? But you listen, and they do. There's people that claim that cheese dip was invented here, I think right in North Little Rock. And they'll tell you it's different. You know, growing up in Texas, I eat queso. I'd never even heard of cheese dip before I moved here. You call it queso.
That's what I've heard, and that's what it read like when I read about Arkansas cheese dip. I was like, this sounds like a knockoff of legit Texas queso. That's what I heard.
It's a little more bland, but not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just some of it's yellow or white, and it's just a little more toned down than your typical Texas queso. And it's really interesting. I mean, almost every restaurant, especially in Little Rock, has it. I mean, you can go and it doesn't even have to be Mexican restaurants. Their cheese dip is, I would bet, on 80% of the menus in this town. People just are fanatical about it. And you know, it's kind of mind-boggling, but yeah, that's what we're known for. You know, we did this huge competition several years back where we pitted ourselves against the Texas queso, and they took it up to like senators in DC. I mean, it was like a huge deal. I mean, it's borderline ridiculous, but it's something we're proud of here. And I got to admit, I've come around to it. I never thought it was that big of a deal, but now I really do seek out great cheese dip.
Well, now you're ingrained in it, so you know it's part of your, especially if you got that Texas backbone in you. Cheese dip is great. Cheese dip is never bad. And other states have their own kind of cheese dip too. I know in like the Carolinas, they have like pimento cheese is big, and every state's got a little different version of like a pimento cheese situation. You know, and I'm sure they all fight to the death about whose is better, but cheese dip is definitely a thing. So if I ever get down to Arkansas, I know that's something I got to hit for sure. But I didn't know how to bring in cheese dip. I was like, I don't know, where am I supposed to find the good one? No one was like, here's the best cheese dip. Like I didn't want to make cheese dip. I didn't know where to go. So I stuck with the uniquely Arkansas sausages and the Arkansas grown booze. It works pretty well.
Sounds good.
And so this was, I've had this stuff in my kitchen, but I didn't know it was even made in Arkansas. But apparently this is like a big thing in Arkansas. Is this something? I mean, it's not uniquely Arkansas by any means, I'm sure, but it's made there. So I don't know. It came across my radar, and I just so happen to have it. The Cavender's Greek seasoning. Oh
yeah. Cavender's made right here. Big seasoning. Yeah, there's a lot of seasoning companies. Boy, I tell you one thing. I wish you'd try that is made in Arkadelphia, which is about an hour.
Arkadelphia? What is that? I've never even heard of Arkadelphia. Is that a real place?
Oh, yeah. You know, not too far from where Bill Clinton was born. He was born in Hope, Arkansas, which is, you know, very southern part of Arkansas. Grew up in Arkadelphia is south of Little Rock.
I see. I'm looking at it on a map. It's southwest, yeah.
And they have a peanut brittle place called Juanita's. And I'm not a huge peanut brittle guy, but this peanut brittle is insane. It's super thin. It's almost like glass.
What's the name of the place?
Juanita's.
All right.
Juanita's peanut brittle. They sell it by the tub. it's in all the shops here in Arkansas. It's really good. It's the type of thing where you're just sitting on the couch and suddenly you've eaten, like a pound of peanut brittle.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
In looking into Arkansas, the other thing that I was going to have, but it seemed a little bit too generic to have, was Skippy peanut butter. I guess they have a huge plant there, or at least they started there. But I didn't want to just get a jar of peanut butter that anyone could get. That seemed a little cop-outish. But is that down there? Is that like a prominent thing down there, or no one really cares about it?
Yes and no, both. There's a factory here in Little Rock. It's a big peanut butter company. I've gotten in trouble mouthing off that I'm not a big Skippy fan, which is not popular in these parts. I'm a Jif guy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so I'm not huge on Skippy, but again, it's such a big company that even when I have like some disparaging words about it, it's not that big of a deal. They're just so big.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably part of the culture at a certain point down there because they probably give so many jobs. They've probably been there forever. So, people are probably very loyal, I would guess, to the Skip.
Yeah.
But yeah, not my favorite of the peanut butters. Of the commercial peanut butters, that is. But I didn't know if anyone was like, oh yeah, of course we have that here. Like, who cares? Like, there's like a Budweiser plant in New Jersey, but no one's like, yay, Budweiser. Like, no one really cares about that here.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there it is. It's the Budweiser plant.
Yeah,
still smells like garbage over here.
Yeah.
So I guess let's, I should have started with this, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing in Arkansas, because I got into a little bit of your post, but you're the Mighty Rib on Instagram. Tell us a little bit about what you do there, and then we could dive into a little bit of the restaurant scene there, I hope.
Well, I'm a food blogger. I've been doing this for about 10 years, started in Houston, writing for the Houston Press. Well, I started my blog, themightyrib.com, and then got freelance work with the Houston Press. And then my family moved up to Boston for a year. My wife's a physician and had finished out her training in Boston. And I just continued to food blog up there. And then we moved down to Little Rock, of all places, which I never thought I'd end up in Arkansas, and really kind of fought it at the beginning. Your perceptions of places, but turns out, we just love living here. And I've just stayed with my food blogging. I was formerly a high school teacher, and then transitioned into writing, and it's become pretty much a full-time job. One of the things I do, I'm now the food editor for AY Magazine, which is the local magazine here. I freelance write for onlyinarc.com. But one of the things I'm truly proud of is through all this, I've kept up my personal blog, The Mighty Rib, and it's one of the few blogs that you'll find that it's not monetized at all. I don't have any money involved in it. I want to keep it as pure and as possible. I cover restaurants. I do, interview chefs, anything you can imagine involving food, I cover it. And I just, like I said, I try to keep it as pure as possible, where, I don't getting free. Can I say shit?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, or you drop all the curses. It's fine.
I don't like free shit. I don't like free food. I don't want anyone kissing my ass.
Right.
So I've really enjoyed it, and I just keep doing it. And again, Little Rock is a wonderful place to food blog because there's not a lot of competition with what I do. And it's a big enough town to keep you busy, but not so big that it would be overwhelming to cover like your big cities.
Right. That's fair. So let me ask you this. It's something I kind of fell into asking people from these states I've never looked at, because I'm looking at the state right now like as a whole. And, it looks like a big kind of rectangle. So you're in Little Rock, which is pretty much like the center almost, it looks like. So living there for a while, how would you, this is what I always say, like in New Jersey, I live in Central Jersey. There's North Jersey, Central Jersey, and South Jersey. And they're essentially three different complete areas. Like North Jersey is very close to New York, and it's got a very New York vibe. Central Jersey is a lot different. It's like a shore town on one side, and then you kind of got borderline Philadelphia in the south side of New Jersey and Atlantic City. So it's like three different types of New Jersey people, really. From being here, though, you would know that. Otherwise, you're just a New Jersey guy, right? So in Arkansas, is there something like that? Like, is it the Ozark world is like a whole different kind of vibe than like, Little Rock and like whatever else is there? Is it broken up in that any kind of like informal way to people who live there?
Yeah, there's two main parts of Arkansas. You've got Central Arkansas, which is Little Rock, and Conway's a town about 30 minutes from here that's growing, and all the other suburbs around Little Rock is Central Arkansas.
Okay.
Now, over the last several years, you've seen this massive growth in NWA, Northwest Arkansas. And it's almost like a completely different world up there. It's a good 3-hour drive from Central Arkansas.
Is that like Fayetteville and Rogers area? I'm looking
Correct.
at the map. Okay, because it looks like I could see it's definitely got a little bit more population.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the growth is like it's one of the biggest growing areas in the nation right now. Bentonville is home to Walmart. And there's so many nice things in Bentonville. There's just so much money in Bentonville. They've got like this beautiful town square that'll remind you of Mayberry. They've got a museum that is like a notch below the Met in New York City. Nice. Called Crystal Bridges. It's totally funded by Walmart. So you've got all these towns that are growing. You've got Bentonville and Rogers and Fayetteville, where U of A, University of Arkansas is. So all these towns are kind of clustered together. So you've got like this huge growing population, and it's a much different vibe, almost a younger kind of vibe.
Okay.
And then Arkansas, then Little Rock. Little Rock, I would say, is more diverse, a little more, I would say, liberal thinking inside of Little Rock. This is home to Bill Clinton, and it's still. Little Rock is a blue dot in a sea of red.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you got those areas. So you're in Little Rock, and I'm sure you've eaten around Arkansas, but tell me a little bit about like Arkansas restaurants as a whole. I mean, just to blame New Jersey again or play that game. Italian restaurants are kind of what dominate the scene out here. Is there any kind of specific cuisine that kind of reigns supreme in that area? Or is it, obviously it's diverse here as well, but I'm sure it's diverse. There's probably all kinds of stuff, but is there anything that's like, if you're going out on a Tuesday night, what are you eating, randomly? What's a grab and go kind of thing?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I guess the biggest knock I would have on our food scene here is that it's a little bit of an identity crisis. When you look at Arkansas, it's not really Deep South. It's not really Midwest. It's right next to Texas, and Texas has got a huge ego. So we're in this like geographic pocket where food-wise, it's really hard to have an identity. We're close to Memphis, but we don't excel in barbecue quite like we don't have our own style. That said, the climate here is very mild. We have a lot of great farms, a lot of great ranchers, and from our food scene's perspective in the last few years, a lot of, I hate to use that term, farm to table, because that's everywhere. Yeah. But we have a lot of good restaurants that utilize a lot of our farms. A restaurant that, anytime I have an out-of-town guest, I take them to the Root, which I feel like is quintessential Little Rock. It's got just a very casual vibe to it.
The Root Cafe? I'm looking at the menu right now.
Yeah, the Root Cafe. I bet 80% of their ingredients are local, like really close by. Nice. They do things the right way. That restaurant's a couple blocks from Rocktown, the whiskey you're drinking. So there's that. We have a lot of great burgers. Fried catfish is huge here.
Oh yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. I grew up not liking fried catfish at all, but we have a lot of really quality farm raised catfish from nearby Mississippi and even in Arkansas. And fried catfish, when it's done right, it is fantastic. And we have a lot of places that do that really well here. And a lot of my work involves traveling around the entire state. And it's fun going to these small towns throughout Arkansas that it's like stepping back in time in a lot of respects. They still got the dairy bars that are very popular. And especially during COVID, I've really had to change the way I cover food because I'm not eating in restaurants personally. So, of course, I do a lot of takeout. But our food truck scene has really finally exploded here, I think, caught up to the rest of the country. And these dairy bars where you walk up, if you're not familiar with the dairy bar.
Yeah, do tell, please.
Yeah, so a dairy bar is basically just a walk-up restaurant, kind of a drive-up. You get out of your car, you walk to the counter. A very simple menu in many times: burgers, fries, onion rings, shakes. There's got to be some dairy element.
Sure,
So
of
you're
course.
gonna, have you ever heard of a blizzard?
Yeah, of course, from Dairy Queen.
Yeah, like things like that. So, those were popular in the 50s.
Yeah, I've been to one of those before, and I didn't ever consider it. I'm thinking about this as you're describing it. I'm thinking of one that I've been to, and it wasn't in Arkansas. I don't know where I was. It was on the road, and it was definitely in like the Midwest kind of area. And it was just like you're describing. It was like you pull up, counter service, burgers, couple sandwiches and dogs, and dairy, like ice cream, milkshakes, specialties, And
they're great, greasy burgers.
Yeah, it was delicious. I remember it was killer.
Have you ever seen the movie Sling Blade?
I have.
Yes. Okay, so there's a famous one. He goes to a dairy bar to order taters, French fried taters.
French fried taters.
Yeah. That's called Sling Blade Diner, Sling Blade. I think it's called Sling Blade Diner. It's in Benton, which is a suburb of Little Rock. I just ate there a couple months ago. It's where the movie was filmed, and you can go and get French fried taters, just like Billy Bob. There's a bunch of movie memorabilia in there. It's really kind of a cool.
And he's from Arkansas, I think, too, right? I think I read that in my notes.
Yeah, I think he is from Arkansas.
I think so. At least I said it was. It must be true if I said it. So.
It is. I'm trying to
Okay, so the farm to table thing is great to hear that that's happening out there, and it's great that you have like ranchers and farms. I'm always happy to hear that that's existing out there. And again, like I wish I got some of my sausages and stuff from that a little bit more local people, but I don't mind the one notch up corporate Petit sausages and stuff I got. Not mad at it. But it's good to hear that that's going on out there, and those restaurants are kind of doing that. But what you said about the identity crisis with the food sounds about right, because you are in a weird spot, like you said. Like Texas is there, it's weird. You're not. No one hears about Arkansas barbecue. That's just. I'm sure someone's doing it, but it's not on the map, right? What is there any kind of like unique food, specific kind of thing that you would feel is like a type? I don't know, like a type of sandwich, something like that. The dairy bar sounds like that's probably the thing, not like a type of food, but the dairy bar vibe sounds pretty uniquely Arkansasian. What's the word we're looking for here? Arkansanian? Arkansian. Why is it it's spelled Arkansas, but they say Arkansas? What is that?
Arkansas, but you're an Arkansan.
That's even more confusing.
Well, one of the things you see here that's, I guess, kind of a trademark, I mentioned fried catfish and barbecue. There are a lot of places that combine the two in their restaurant, and that's what they promote. It's a barbecue / fried catfish restaurant.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of a thing. One thing specifically in Little Rock that I'm very happy to say is that we have great Mexican food here.
Interesting.
I mean, really, really good Mexican food. A large Hispanic population. We've got wonderful taquerias, food trucks, you name it. I mean, we are just an embarrassment of riches when it comes to Mexican food. We even have some restaurants that have kind of coined the term Arc-Mex, which is very similar to Tex-Mex.
I was going to say, what's the difference? But you're right next to Texas. It's probably similar, I'm assuming. Is there a large like Mexican contingent there? There's communities of like Mexican markets and stuff like that out there, or is it just like pockets of restaurants?
Yeah, they're all over the city. We have market and mercados, and it's not just one little area. I mean, it's everywhere. So the Arkansas River runs through Little Rock. And it's interesting because you've got Little Rock, you cross the river into North Little Rock, two separate municipalities and very different vibes as well. And they're kind of their own thing. North Little Rock, I mean, it's literally right across the river. It's like 15 minutes from my house. It's super close. And North Little Rock is experiencing a real resurgence, especially in food and drink. They've got a wonderful brewery over there. I'm actually wearing their sweatshirt called Flyway Brewing, just fantastic beer. And there's an Argenta district with lots of restaurants and shops it's really nice. And the food over there is great too. Their nickname is Dogtown.
Dogtown.
Dogtown. I don't know really. There's something about how dogs used to cross the river and run loose there.
Got some weird stories down there in Arkansas. Tell them that.
They embrace the name, and there's murals with all these dogs on it now, so it's great. I like hanging in North Little Rock just as much as I do Little Rock.
It looks cool. It kind of reminds me of Boston, the way that it's, I forget the other name of what's there, but how Boston has that river there, and then there's like that other part over the river. I forget what the hell it's even called.
Charlestown and where Somerville.
Yeah, that area. Just looking at the map right now, it reminds me of that because I remember being in Boston going, oh, we should cross the river and check out that part of town. It just kind of looks similar to that. Probably like any city with a river, though. It's kind of a silly observation, I suppose. So, yeah, to that point, the restaurants in Arkansas, they sound interesting. You got a good base of Mexican food, and the farm to table stuff sounds delicious. The distillery, so obviously I got the Rocktown stuff here. Is there any other like distillery action going on out there? I'm sure there's a million breweries like every state now. I mean, you mentioned one, at least in New Jersey. I mean, every town has a brewery now. I'm assuming Arkansas, at least maybe near Little Rock, is similar, or are they all over the state, or what's up with the breweries and distilleries?
We have three big ones in Little Rock. You've got Diamond Bear, which was kind of the first one. You've got Lost 40. It's really big, but still, I guess I don't know if the terminology, if it's still considered a microbrewery,
right?
But and then you've got this Flyway. We've had a few breweries smaller that have gone out of business, unfortunately, in the last year or two. But breweries have been popping up all over the state. I would say the beer in Northwest Arkansas, I referred to it before, that area we talked about, it's probably even a little more popular than it is here in Little Rock. So that's kind of exploded up there. But you know, I'm starting to see breweries. I was driving somewhere the other day in a little town, and I saw this brewery just kind of in a little side road. So I don't know how big it was.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're good to bolster like a little town. You know, like little towns over here that didn't have much going on 5-6 years ago. A little brewery pops up, gets a little notoriety, and then the town starts to give it a little boom in it. You know, in Jersey at least. And I'm sure it's the same around the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the beer nerds are out there. You know, they'll travel to go get those good beers if they're good. Is everyone doing like the kind of beers out there? Is it like it is out here where it's all like, you know, here's our double IPA and our 6 different variants of a double IPA, and, you know, one guy's making a sour beer or something, or what's it like?
Yeah, you know, you're starting to see more sours, which I like.
I like that too. I like seeing that at least coming out. I like sours. I like to see like traditional Germans, like Pilsners and lagers, like clean classic beers that are very difficult to actually make well being made. So I like seeing the steer away from the double IPA. It's not that they don't have their place, but that's a big trend.
Well, one of the cool things here is this Flyway Brewery I was telling you about, but they just opened like a sister restaurant called Brewed and Barley, where they are making even like smaller batch brews, just unique to them, but under that umbrella. So you've got, you know, just smaller, more artisan brews, whatever you want to call them, small batch. So that's kind of nice. I mean, we have those things. You know, when I moved down here 10 years ago, as I mentioned, I kind of came kicking and screaming because, you know, in my head, I'm thinking I'm moving to Little Rock. What the hell is there to do in Little Rock? Certainly my food writing career is over. I hope there's like an Indian restaurant and maybe a Chinese restaurant. And, you know, that was my perception of the town. And it's much different than that. There's a lot more than you would think when someone says Little Rock.
Right.
It's bigger than you think, and it's more diversified than you think. With that said, we still have a long way to go. We always are a little behind some of the bigger cities in getting things, but we still need a damn good bagel shop. You know, my family's from New York City. I need a bagel shop. One of the things I want to mention, we've got this pizza shop down here called DeLuca's Pizza.
DeLuca's Pizza, do tell.
DeLuca's Pizza, and Anthony Volinati, he runs DeLuca's Pizza, and he's from New York City. He came down here, I guess, about 7 or 8 years ago. He opened up this pizza shop in Hot Springs. Hot Springs is about 50 minutes from Little Rock. And I'm telling you, it's some of the very best pizza I've eaten anywhere in the country.
You're putting it out there. That's a bold statement.
And I mean it. I mean, like, I'm fortunate enough to I've done a lot of traveling all over the country. I've eaten some really good pizza. His pizza will stack up to anyone's.
What is he doing? Is it like a New York style, like slices and big pies? There's like a Neapolitan style. What kind of pie is he working with, or what kind of product is it? I'm trying to look at the website. I don't see it.
Really his own style. It's a little thicker than New York style.
Okay.
It's big. The pizza is expensive because he uses really good ingredients. But
I found some pictures of the pizza. It does look delicious for sure.
Yeah, he's got like a little char on it. So that's going to be a little more unique, a little different than New York style. It's similar. I always kind of call it a kind of a hybrid pizza.
Those are some of my favorite pizzas I've had. The places that can kind of take the good of a Neapolitan, like the chew, but keep the crisp and make it a little bit bigger. Like, I love those kind of pizzas. This pizza looks great. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures. It definitely looks like a legit slice, or a whole pie, rather.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's hard to find someone that doesn't love that pizza whenever I recommend it. But the interesting thing is this guy's so talented. About 3 years ago, I went down there and he's like, you need to try my cheeseburger. And he makes this.
Oh, I just see your picture. I pulled it up and your picture's right here. It's your picture for the Mighty Rib. That looks fantastic, this burger.
It's like this simple cheeseburger. When you look at it, you're like, how's this going to wow me?
Right.
You know, it's just so, he gives you a freaking bib when you eat it. And I remember.
It looks juicy. It definitely looks juicy.
I'm a grown ass man. I'm not going to wear a bib when I eat. But I did. I threw it off to the side and I bite into the burger and all the juice is splattering all over me. Yes, you really do need a bib.
That's a fatty burger.
Yeah, it's a great burger. He gets the I forget the name of the buns. I think they're from New York City.
It looks like a Martin's potato bun is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think most agree that it's the greatest vehicle for a hamburger. I think most people at least agree with that. Although I've had great burgers on other buns, it's definitely a benchmark for sure at a lot of restaurants, great restaurants.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't cut any corners. His food is simple but really quality ingredients, and he just does it right. And it's just like little pizza shop. I remember driving away from it years ago, maybe. And not many people had heard about it. And someone that lived there told me to come down and try this pizza. And it was one of those very rare food moments that I've had in my life where I remember after I ate it and I'm driving back to Little Rock with my family and I'm like in disbelief that I just ate some of the best pizza in my life in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Crazy.
But it's true.
I mean, for pizza alone, now I want to pit stop my way. I want to drive through Arkansas. I love doing this. I'm so glad the show actually worked out. It was a crazy idea to do it. I'm glad that I'm doing these state by state and talking to people like you about it. Always makes me amped to go to these states. Like I was talking to people from Alaska the other week, and I was just like, man, I want to get to Alaska now. These people are making it sound so great. Like there's so much great stuff going on in all these states that you just even wouldn't know. Like I'm pretty good at if I'm going somewhere to look at a map and find out all right, this is a good spot to land and figure out where to hang out. But you never know until you talk to someone who lives there, and kind of, does it. You would never hear about this pizza place for sure unless I stumbled into you, You're just not going to find it. Now, if I'm in Arkansas, I'm beelining my way to Hot Springs. I'm going to take a dip and I'm going to go eat some pizza.
There you go. You go to one of the bathhouses in Hot Springs, get some natural mineral water to revive your senses, and you go eat some pizza.
Is that what they do? Is the Hot Springs full on Hot Springs down? It looks like a whole section. Is it it's a state park or is it just the town name?
Yeah,
I see Hot Springs Village. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got there's a state park right there, and it was popular in the 30s.
Of course.
Row where they had these baths. There's still 2 of them that are open that you can go to in these bath waters, mineral water, and it's really quite relaxing. We've done it a few times. It's kind of a little getaway town. Hot Springs is. In the early 20s, they used to have spring training baseball. I think that's where spring training baseball started. Babe Ruth used to hang down there. Capone used to, there's a mobster museum in Hot Springs.
I see a casino, so that all lines up.
Yeah, there's a casino, racetrack in Hot Springs. It's a cool little spot. Arkansas is just very interesting, and much of the state is beautiful. When you have the Ozark Mountains in the northwest, our nickname is the natural state. The park system here is fabulous. They put a lot of money into it, and you go camping. There's beautiful facilities. The thing I try to tell people about Arkansas is much of it is really gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah, these states on the map, at least, like when you look at Google Maps, the states that have a lot of green, the topographic map, and it shows, it's generally like just more nature area than city and town and people. It's generally, they're beautiful states, and Arkansas is definitely fully green. I mean, there's a good mountain range. The Ozarks are all there, like you said. And there's also a diamond mine there, I read, like an open to the public diamond mine.
Oh, yeah. I think it's the only one in the country.
I've never heard of such a thing. You could just literally go and rent tools and start mining for diamonds. That sounds like the craziest shit I've ever heard.
They take, like, my kids have done field trips there.
Yeah, it seems like that kind of thing, yeah. People apparently find diamonds.
And 3 or 4 times a year, the local news, you'll read that someone finds a 4-carat diamond. I mean, it's crazy.
That's really crazy. Why do they do that? Why don't they just say this is ours? Get away from our diamond mine.
Well, it's a draw, I guess. I've actually never been there, but
yeah, I was in my fact finding. I was like, "What's the weird crap about the state?" I was like, "That's pretty weird. That's unique. I mean, having a bunch of national parks is not uncommon, but open to the public diamond mine is interesting. You wouldn't do that in New York or New Jersey. They would shut that down and mine it for everything it had."
We have a few unique things about our state. A lot of weird names, weird pronunciations, kind of like Petit Jean.
Petit Jean, and again, Arkansas still gets me because Kansas is right next to you. It's clearly Kansas, and you guys just put an R in front of Arkansas, and you're demanding people say it differently. It's so strange to me.
I guess they want to be a little different. They don't want to be called Arkansas. So,
well, I mean, change the name. Why pick Arkansas? Why pick Arkansas? Name yourself something different. It's such a weird name, a weird word, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Can't change that. So the other weird stuff about Arkansas I saw, the Boggy Creek Monster. Is this something? It seems like a gimmick town, which I didn't even realize. I was just looking at before you joined.
Where is that?
Have you heard of this thing? The Boggy Creek Monster essentially looks like Bigfoot, and it's in Fouke, Arizona. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong also. Fouke? F-O-U-K-E, Arkansas, not Arizona, sorry. The Boggy Creek Monster is a local. It literally just looks like Bigfoot. And apparently, I was like, oh, that's a cool little story. But apparently, the whole town is dedicated to it. They have a monster mart and store and everything. I was like, this is silly.
Where in Arkansas is that? It must be like North Arkansas.
I'll look it up right now. I'll tell you right now. Fouke.
I've never even heard of that.
See, I'm teaching you. Fouke, Arkansas. Here it is. Zooming out. I'll tell you right now. It's to the southwest. It looks like. Yeah, like southwest. Maybe. It looks like it's by what are these towns? Garland City.
You're in the sticks right there.
Yeah, I mean, I know they've made their own Bigfoot story. Of course, it's the sticks. It's definitely southwest. It looks like it's borderline Texas almost, or Georgia. Is that Atlanta? No, not Georgia.
Probably close to Texarkana.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, Atlanta, Texas is right next to it. Whatever that means. That's definitely the bottom corner of your state. I don't think anyone's going there. No one's even telling the stories of it. I don't even know how I ran into it, but
I think you went down some weird Google wormhole.
That's what happens. I mean, that's why I think I found that. And I was like, I got enough info. We can move on. we can now move on to other things. We don't need to read more about the fake Bigfoot that they found in Arkansas. And there was actually one other thing that was that it's something like the Northern Lights. The Dover Lights was something I read about there. Is that something you've heard of, or is that another crazy conspiracy theory?
That's another crazy.
I'm reading QAnon websites.
Well, we do have something called the glory hole. That's kind of interesting.
What the hell is that?
If you Google glory hole,
I'm afraid to do that. I don't think I could do that. Well, let's do it. Glory Hole, Arkansas.
Like natural park. Like I had some friends come up from Texas one year, and they said, "Yeah, we want to go see the glory hole." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And sure enough, there's like a parks.
There it is, Glory Hole Waterfall Trail.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow. You guys love strange name things. Oh, wow. I got to be fair, though. That is a beautiful looking glory hole.
It is.
I mean, that's kind of, oh, that's really strange. It's like a waterfall in is it a cave or something? Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I have
I mean, this makes a lot of sense for the term glory hole because this is like a majestic kind of thing. This looks very cool. Yeah. I get why they call it that, I guess, but maybe they should have checked something.
Maybe it was the original glory hole.
Maybe. That's a good point. This could be the first of all. This is the birth of Arkansas, the glory hole state. That's what you guys should have called yourselves because this is natural. It's a glory hole. It makes complete sense.
Absolutely.
Did I say Arizona again? I keep saying Arizona.
No, I think you just did it once.
All right.
When you mentioned Fook.
You know what? Fook. It's because all these. It's like I'm doing it alphabetically, so my brain is just on A's. I can't wait to get out of the A's.
What's next? I'm not.
What did we do? Arkansas. What's next? California. We're hitting the C's. Next week's California, and then Colorado and Connecticut. So that's the next 3 weeks. That's my February.
That's a big step up from Arkansas. You go from Arkansas to California. That's big.
I mean, I was trying to figure the best way to do the show, and I was like, the only way that's kind of fair is just alphabetical. Like otherwise, it's like, you know, and it lets me schedule it too. You know, I could reach out to somebody a couple of weeks ahead and be like, hey, your week is this week. You know, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And it shows no preference. You know, it is what it is. We started with, where did we even start? I got to look. Start with Alabama, which is like, you know, Alabama, and we end with Wyoming. We start weird and end weird. You know, the middle is where the meat is. You know, those aren't the heavy hitter states that you try to represent your country with, but maybe Wyoming's cool. I don't know. Alabama.
Hey, I'm sure there's a mighty something in Wyoming that you can talk to as well that has some interesting.
I mean, it's always interesting to try to find the people that want to talk about stuff. And luckily, I'm all about food and drink, so it's easier to find food and drink people because they're, you know, like to talk about their state and what they eat and they drink out there. So I guess it's kind of working. So far, so good. Knock on fake desk wood. But so far, it's working out. All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else? I don't want to cut you off, but we can't sit here all day, I guess. I can't drink this whole bottle. It's early yet.
No, like I said, I always kind of think of Arkansas as a hidden gem. So with this platform, I would just encourage people to, you know, do some research on it. Take a trip to any, you know, Central Arkansas is great, but Northwest Arkansas, like I said, is beautiful. It's, you know, a lot of people like to go to Branson, which is right across the border. That whole area up there is gorgeous. And, you know, Eureka Springs is another really funky little town in Northwest Arkansas that my wife and we go there every other year, just kind of chill out for a weekend. It's just a funky town.
Eureka Springs. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool town. Tiny. But there's more to Arkansas than most folks that would watch this would think. So I would encourage you to check it out.
It looks cool, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's easily travelable as well. You would fly in, and then it looks like the highways bring you right to all the points that we're talking about. The Northwest looks like it's a straight shot pretty much to the center.
Yep, and we're close here in Little Rock. We're very close to Memphis. That's the biggest city near us. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a huge Memphis following here with the barbecue and the music.
It sounds like a good tag team trip. Hit Memphis, hit Arkansas.
Yep.
And then cruise around Arkansas more, and then hit Memphis on the way out and eat some of their barbecue out there.
That's right.
Man. Well, Kevin, dude, I appreciate you calling. This has been super fun. You make me want to go to Arkansas. So thanks for joining.
If you need anything, it was a real pleasure to partake in this.
Yeah, bud, it's fun. I appreciate you representing Arkansas real strong, man. Thanks so much, and thanks for your time, man. Really appreciate it.
Okay, you take care.
Have a good one, buddy. I'll talk to you.
You too.
Oh, that was great. Who's better than him? Who's better than him? The Mighty Rib. The Mighty Rib, everybody. What a great dude. That guy knows food and drink. Check out his blog. It's mightyrib.com. Told us about the glory holes. Oh, it's not mightyrib.com. It's the Mighty Rib. I got him on Instagram, so where's his website? I want to make sure I plug his website properly. Boom. TheMightyRib.com. Check him out on TheMightyRib.com. Talking everything about Arkansas, getting it done. He was great. What a great guest. I love finding these people. Honestly, talking to these people like this, is the point of the show. Like, it's fun to drink the drink. It's fun to eat the fucking foods from these places, but talking to people every time is really what is super enjoyable about the show. I think it's super cool to talk to a guy like that who's, been living in Arkansas for 10 years. He eats his way around the state. He's the guy I want to meet at the bar. He's the guy that want to tell me about the breweries. He's the guy that want to tell me to get down to Hot Springs and eat that banging pizza. These are the kind of people I'm trying to meet. These are the kind of people I'm trying to talk to on the show. So much love to him. Check out themightyrib.com. If you go to Arkansas, definitely check out Arkansas. Super fun. This has been super fun. This show's great. Thank you guys all for joining. I don't know where else we could go. I can't sit and sip on this bottle all day, but maybe all night. The Carney seasoning, try it if you're looking for that. And Petit meats, as we heard. Thank you for your contribution of your cheeses and questionable Christmas sausage. Arkansas, you're a weird state. You're all about Walmart. Apparently got some farm-to-table action going on there. Bill Clinton, Billy Bob Thornton. You got a lot of Bills, a lot of Williams coming out of Arkansas. This William would like to visit. I'd like to come to Arkansas one day and check it out. It looks like Little Rock could be a cool time. One day maybe we'll hit Memphis and we'll go into Little Rock and hang out. And it'll be great. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks, everybody, to chat. Holler at you. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, share, tell your friend, hit the button, watch it again, do all those things. Subscribe on YouTube. Bitsandbytes.us will bring you right to the YouTube page to watch the replay of this and all of the other states. Make sure to check that out. Bitsandbytes.us. I'm the Billy Vegas. Thank you for joining Bits and Bytes United States Edition. This has been Arkansas. Please join us next week for another great state. See ya.